politicsandright.com, publishers of How to Make America Utopia, Take Away the Economy from Those Who Rigged It, As I See It, Class Warfare, The Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom, It's Worth It, How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relatives, Friends, and Neighbors, and other books written by Egberto Willis. Welcome to Politics and Right. My name is Egberto Willis, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas, and good morning to Northeast Texas, Southeast Texas, Northwest Louisiana, Southwest Louisiana, and good morning to the entire world who's receiving our signals via the magic of the internet, formerly known as ARPANET, created by you, we, the people. Remember that. You created the internet, now controlled by the billionaires, and then you're asked to pay for it one more time again. Anyway, folks, we are going to have a great show for you today. But you know, every morning I have this little beginning, and every morning it seems like there's one sentence I forget in it because, you know, I do it off the top of my head. Good morning to all those receiving the signals from our 100,000 watt transmitter that permeates or goes through those nooks and crannies to those magical boxes known as radios, aka the Howard Reynolds machine. Anyway, without further ado, let's throw it to the studio. Hermanos.
I just love radios, from the dial to the lit dials to the digital dials. I love radios. Radios are cool. I have so many of them. It's kind of hard to keep up with all of them. Jack, you got a radio?
Yes, I do. I'm a boomer. That's what I listen to.
Yeah, me too. I listen to the internet sometimes, but for the most part, it's radio, and I love radios. Good morning, Egberto. It's another fine day here at the radio, and I have been watching all these Trump memes on Facebook. Oh God, they're nauseating. How does anybody look at that and think, oh gee, we got a really good deal? No, you didn't. When those tariffs start to hit, when those immigrants, if he even does it. I mean, look, this man is known for doing nothing but lying, so most likely he's not going to do anything. But he's talking about, we're going to deport all these people. Yes, sure you are. You're not going to do anything. I challenge you. Anyway, that's where I'm at today. And Jack has a full page of wisdom, and I think he wants to give it to us right now.
Right. Good morning, Egberto. How are you?
Good morning, my brother. How you doing today?
Doing all right. I'm going to talk about a little class warfare here. Class warfare against the billionaire class. What would that look like? Tax revolt? Would it mean not buying goods and services? How big of a reduction in spending by the people would it take to get the attention of the billionaire class? Are Americans too spoiled in their lifestyle to make the sacrifice it takes to get the attention of the billionaires? Can we weaponize our pocketbooks? Can we do battle with the products we use every day? Can we stop the wealthy from taking us to war to get the resources to make the products that we buy? Is marketing so strong and successful that it turns people into zombies who only know hunger and consumption? Turn the page.
Page 2.
The billionaires seek to render the citizens hopelessly addicted and dependent on a lifestyle of consumption. Just as a vampire sinks its fangs into the neck of its prey, we must pound a stake through the heart of the billionaire vampire capitalist. It is he who enslaves us.
Can we start with Elon Musk? The man who bought votes for Donald Trump. I mean, that's just blatant right there. That is just blatant capitalism unrestrained. He bought the votes for Donald Trump. He continues to say, oh, well, you know, I'll give you $1 million if you vote for this guy. Yeah. Good luck on getting that.
You know,
Anyway, yeah. This is the kind of
that
mood I'm in this morning.
well, I'm gonna make here. Look. I am like I said a couple of days ago, Howard and Jack. My I am over the pain and the cry and all that good stuff. Now I'm in the mode that says let's just do right by the people and let's remind the people how empowered they really are. Even as we have the thug in chief, we can get things accomplished. Yes, we're going to be set back for a while, but let's all build to move forward, and that's where I'm at. And I love Jack. I love what you just said about consumption, right? Because
Yes.
we have been forced by the billionaires. You are so absolutely correct. We've been forced by the billionaires to be into this very consumptive. Is consumptive a word? I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah,
consumption
it is.
to be. Yeah. Okay. So we want to be consuming at the detriment of the earth, at the detriment of so much, at the detriment of our own minds, because we have to work so hard to keep the consumption, work and work and work. And then uh, and then the lack of love. I tell you something. Think about the kinds of things that we preach in our economy. We preach about individualism. We teach about rugged individualism and doing things on your own. We don't talk about the collective, but think about where you are ever the happiest. Not when you're just constantly running to the store on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, all killing each other to get the cheap price, like little folks getting the crumbs left by the billionaires, right? But you sit down and with a friend and have a cup of coffee, and you're talking about a whole lot of things, and in no time you find that 5 hours goes away and you just feel good because you're with somebody that you love, you like, you whatever, and you just have a good time. And you're not running to Walmart to consume. You're just sitting down with another person or persons and having a good time. We have to we have to start realizing how we have been programmed to simply consume for the benefit of a few as we are taught to hate each other. Again, taught to hate each other. When some of the best times we have is not consuming, but just sitting down and having fun, shooting the breeze with somebody that you enjoy being with. I like that consumption thing, Jack. It brings up quite a bit of things that we could talk about. But today is Thursday, which means it is Neil Aquino Day, which also means the founder of the Houston Democracy Project, HoustonDemocracyProject.com, is with us. Good morning, Neil. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Good morning, world. Good morning. And it is important to have those family gatherings, consumption, but let me also tell you, you don't want that Trump voting uncle across the table. Don't go. Don't invite him. And I've been watching a lot of, reading a lot of social media and content, and a lot of it has been about people uh, creating boundaries within their family and friends. Reject the consumerism, but I'll just tell you for your own boundaries and your own health. If you don't want to go to Thanksgiving or you don't want them there, don't go, and keep your mental health going. Keep your mental health going. I've been thinking a lot about this as we approach the holidays. Set the boundary you need, and don't be afraid to tell Uncle Bob, you know, buzz off. And I know that's a negative message to start the morning, but people's mental health matters, and Trump's election and what's going on is a mental health crisis for millions of people.
Let me tell you, Neil. First of all, people have to do what they have to do, and I think they need to know it is okay. And I don't think your message was a negative message. I think you're telling people to do what they have to do. Look. That's not my modus operandi because of who I am. But
Hmm.
just the same, let me back up. That's not my modus operandi because I will not give up on the Trump voting sister. I won't give up on the Trump voting uncle or anything like that, right? But everybody ought to know that whatever you choose, don't let anybody let you feel guilty about that.
Hmm.
As Neil just said, your mental health first, because when you are in the presence of a Trump voter, whether family, foe, or otherwise, you are in the presence of somebody who voted for somebody who is going to materially and mentally hurt you. It
Hmm.
is almost going ahead and saying, I will break. And again, sometimes some of us will go ahead and have to break bread with the bad person. But Neil is actually 100% correct. Do what is right for you.
My
Neil.
my vibe has been what I've felt from a lot of these folks is just in conversations I've had, and you don't know whether that TikTok creator you're watching, and I know I should turn the TikTok off, but you don't know what
Oh,
they're
wait.
telling you the true
Let me say,
story.
no, no, please don't. Don't. I know you have something to say,
Right,
but I
right.
really want to take care of that statement. No, they want you to believe that TikTok and Instagram and all of that are bad things because of the algorithm and all these other
Hmm.
things, right? If you create your communities in TikTok where you intentionally go and see certain things, it is a liberator. Don't
Well,
let them
actually,
fool you.
the politics in some respect, well, it's overwhelmed it. I want my algorithm. Really, what I want is a Shohei Ohtani home run, or I'll 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 admit a weakness. I'm not too big to admit a weakness. I enjoy fights, in the Chipotle, in the
Yes.
Waffle House.
Yes.
New fight in the Waffle House. I'm ready to go. And so I actually, or a plane. I love it. When they get a plane landing roughly, or but whatever. So this politics has screwed up my algorithm. But the I've been watching this. I forget the point I was going to make. But I've been watching the oh boy, I forget the point I was going to make. But you do have to set these boundaries um, up, and you keep. And I get this. My feeling has been that the Trump voters do not want to accept responsibility for what they've done. It wasn't racist, or it was just an election, or they don't want to. That a lot of them are as nasty as you can imagine. Many of them think it's just a game or a joke. And the one thing I've liked about our reaction, my anecdotal impression of our reaction collectively this time, people who oppose Trump, is just anger. And I think this time actually we would be better to maybe reduce a little bit of the empathy and move just to a hardness that this is what you've done, this is the cost, this is the boundary I'm establishing, and I need every mental reserve I have. And you see these accounts, stock up on your birth control, think about your self defense, be ready for all of this. I mean, and this is a terrible thing that's occurred. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this, and whatever, this is life changing, um, in many ways. And we don't you don't have to be empathetic to the people who have done it. You don't have to be. You can be. It's none of my business. And there are some family relations you can't get out of, but you don't have to be one bit empathetic to the people who caused it.
Well, the one thing that I think we have to be is honest as far as telling people to their eyes, to their faces, that you understand why, what was the reason the majority of folks chose Trump. And like
Hmm.
I told my 3 o'clock audience, and in no uncertain terms, it was a sexist, racist vote, whether knowingly or unknowingly. that is what it was. You cannot put a thug into office, somebody who has done the things that he does, when you have a competency on the other side and still vote for it. I am sorry. It was a racist, sexist vote. And all of those who partook in it, I, again, like I told my audience, because 30-40% of my audience are conservatives on my 3 o'clock show. I said, I still love you folks. And I mean that, because if I end that, the plutocracy, the people who made these people how they are, wins. And I don't intend to make them winners. So I am saying from the depths of my heart, I know what you just said is correct, brother Neil. You don't have, in this case, you don't have to give your empathy. You're absolutely right. I will, but you don't,
Right.
but none of you out there have to. You don't. I feel with the platform that I have, I will continue to try to be the bridge. But anyhow, let's go to the phone. I know you have two blogs to talk about, Neil, but let's take care of some of the
Great.
phones and then we jump to your blogs. Let's go to my beautiful Betty. Sister Betty, come on in.
Good morning, Alberto. We have telepathy. I talked to a lot of people after the election, and a lot of them said they just didn't vote this time.
Yes, that was a
And
major problem.
Mm-hmm.
yes, they just didn't vote this time. Most people are afraid of the unknown, and she was that, Kamala.
Hmm.
Also black and a woman. That means to me they have no gumption, no spirit, no gumption. And who is holding their hand and mine? The phone, of course, And I miss her. Uh,
You know,
uh,
Betty,
so let me finish. I miss her, and also you can't blame a girl for trying.
yeah. You done? Let me tell you,
Uh,
Betty.
yeah.
Let me just tell
Okay,
you,
I
Betty.
love y'all. And be good.
You know I love you
What?
too, girl, but let me just say this. Let me just say this. I need to tell you this. The
Okay.
fact that you can be so open, right? The fact that you can be so open, you've called this program several times and told us quite a bit about you over the several times that you've called. The fact that you are able to see reality means many others could, if they made the attempt to do so. So I just want to say thank you for who you are and thank you for how you think. But anything else you say before I jump to Lewis?
Yeah. Well, you have a wonderful daughter and wife. Love y'all and be good. Bye bye.
Thank you, Betty. You have a wonderful day. Let's go to Luis.
Yes, hi, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. Um, First, you just said the thank you. I did say also thank you to a good friend of mine that is like-minded, and
Hmm.
that's very helpful to talk to people that's similar, because it was very disappointing last week, okay? So, but this is not the America that my family immigrated to that I'm thinking all these years. And now, to me, with all these nominations the last 2 or 3 days, it's like it really does look like the big joker is the USA around the world. Again,
Hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
consequence hasn't happened yet, but let's see what happens next year, 2 years from now. But yeah, we have to get our family members, our friends, to be accountable for what they have done. I can't believe it, but it is reality. I do accept it, and it's very sad and disappointing. And yeah, mental um, health is very important. I'm staying away as much as possible, but I'm still aware of what we need to do when it's time to do something. Thank you.
Louis, thank you for those words. Let me tell you, I'm an immigrant myself, and I am an immigrant to a country and naturalized citizens to a country where I bought the propaganda because the propaganda was true. The propaganda was true all in the 60s and the 70s as we were progressing in to match what our constitution hoped we would be, even with the changes within the constitution. That's how we came. That is the reason, right? It is, I think, incumbent on us, and I know your parents, if they're still here with us, would feel the same. It is incumbent on us not to give in to what
Correct.
some
Correct.
would make this place be. And I thank you for your call. And yes, we will make sure again that we educate the people. We are 501(c)(3), so we educate folk
Hmm.
on how best or what policies best support us all. Thank you so kindly, Luis.
Let me say as a
Go
I
ahead, Neil.
referenced a couple times. I went to Washington to speak as a non-immigrant or a descendant of immigrant. I was in Washington over the summer, and I went around all memorials and monuments, and I found myself believing the act. You go to the MLK, you go to the Lincoln. At the Lincoln Memorial, you can stand on the spot where Martin Luther King made the 1963 "I Have a Dream" speech. The war memorials are not militaristic. Vietnam, Korea, World War II, they are not militaristic. My father was a soldier who paid a lifelong price for his participation in the Korean War. We now see that there are North Korean troops fighting on the side of Russia against Ukraine, and we are now Russian allies. And this is one of the big mental. We are now Russian allies, and we're cozying up to the North Korea. And I found myself as an American at the Smithsonian, all the great works of art, the American History Museum, the lunar capsules, and I found myself believing it despite all of my cynicism. And I also found, especially when I was in the United States Capitol, I took just the basic tour where they take you to the Statuary Hall and the Rotunda, and I found myself repulsed at the prospect of those people in the Capitol on January 6th. Now we're going to pardon them. Now we're going to promote them, and it's really just sad. It's just tremendously sad what we've done to ourselves.
Well, like I said, we just have to keep pushing, and that will do. Let's go to Bart. Thank you for that, Neil. Bart, come on in.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for taking my call. Neil, I think you got a case of TDS, and I think you need to seek medical help as soon as possible on that. But seriously,
Well, I hope it's not a pre-existing condition because I'll be
Let him
losing that.
let him finish, Neil.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bart.
yeah, Neil, I'm worried about you, buddy. You got TDS bad. I agree with you on Cornyn, but exiling your family members, I mean, you're gonna make it worse. I mean, you guys supported this palace coup. You guys supported 2019 when Bernie was the candidate, and they threw him out and got Biden in, and you supported 130 days ago when they threw Biden out and got Kamala in without any kind of research at all. And what I heard was that Obama did not support Kamala getting in there. So I was wondering if you knew who was the one that pushed Kamala forward, just besides George Clooney and Julia Roberts.
All right, here's the deal, Bart. That is a question that, again, the right wing has put in your head as being a valid question. Like you notice I gave you all the latitude to say whatever you needed to say for all practical purposes to show that you don't know much about politics. But that said, Kamala ascendancy to run as a president followed all the rules of the Democratic Party, which is the only thing that matters, number one. And number two, it really doesn't matter. You chose, because you've already said it, you chose to put into office a felon, a person who grabs on women's private parts without their permission, somebody who stole money from the working class. I imagine you're the working class, so he stole from your class. Somebody who fooled your class into going to a university that was a fraud. Somebody who went ahead and stole from charities. You voted for this person who decides that said he could kill somebody, and you would still vote for him. And for all practical purposes, I think he's proven his point. So the truth of the matter is absolutely no Trump voter, nobody who voted for Trump has the moral aptitude to tell anyone about Kamala, a competent person who is intelligent, articulate, and who has done positive for society. You have chosen, some of the women have chosen somebody who will deny them their bodily agency, the rights to their bodies. That's all we need to know. So Bart, thank you very much. I gave you your time. Now you have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's go to Harry.
Good morning, Brother Roberto. Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Howard. Good morning, Jack. Neil, you have nothing to apologize for. There's nothing wrong with you. If you want to disagree with Trump voters or people in your family, you have the right to do so. You have a right to voice your opinion. We have the right to disagree in this country. I'm just going to follow up more on what I said Tuesday. I know what you're saying, Roberto, that you want people to feel the pain, the mistake they made, and Betty did hit it on the head there for a little while. The mayor of politics done right hit it on the head yesterday when he was ripping Barry on Hugh Talk, when he was talking to Michael. There was low turnout for Kamala, and Roberto, I agree with you. Yes, there was sexist and racism. Arnie Arneson said it leading up to the election on her show when she talked about, I don't know enough about Kamala Harris. That's code. Arnie just said that's code for black and a woman. But I'll throw some other names out there on Arnie's show: Lincoln Mitchell, Stephen Prepare, Laura Jaheen, Bill Curry. They say, look, we have to keep fighting. It looks like the Republicans are going to retain the House, and they're going to need time. There's going to be times where they need 60 votes, and that's where we have people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and others in office still, where we have to try to block them in their Project 2025 agenda, their Christian right, all these things that will be bad for this country. They just have to fight to hope that some of that stuff, Trump has trouble getting some of that stuff through. That's all we can do is fight, and then fight for 2026, and hopefully when these people that voted for Trump, and that more people will come out, and they'll get the Senate and the House back when, as Howard says, when these tariffs hit, they'll get hit in the pocketbook. When they realize their grocery prices and their gas prices don't go down, then they'll realize they made a terrible mistake, and hopefully they'll turn on them. My friend in Florida.
Let me just say one thing. Let me address something that you just said, my brother, and that is, I actually want. I don't want. First of all, I think they're going to blow up the filibuster if they don't get what they want, because they have 18 months to do what they need to do. They're probably going to blow the filibuster, and I will thank them for doing that. I will tell them thank you very much for you being the one to blow the filibuster. Because here's the thing, sir. Did you want to interrupt me, Neil?
Yeah, let me just say, as we, because I think we need to grasp it ain't like it used to be. So good call, but President Trump's aides are readying unconventional strategies. This is from the Washington Post this morning, to implement at least some recommendations from a new government spending commission with or without approval. Although changes to government spending typically require an act of Congress, Trump aides are exploring plans to challenge a 1974 budget law in a way that would give the White House the power to unilaterally adopt the Musk Commission's proposals. So I hear about the 60 votes, I hear about the filibuster, but we need to. It's a whole new world. They have their Supreme Court, and they will make executive order after executive order. They will flood the courts, bypass Congress, and then trust the courts in the end will validate.
Well, I mean, and that's the point I'm making. That I want these guys to use the next 18 months to go bat you know what crazy. Because what happens is this: we've been telling Americans this for a long time. Politics done right, Houston Democracy Project. We have not been silent about the intent because we follow what they say they'll do. We have been quite clear, and we want to show people, in fact, they are going to do that. And people, people want to say, I hope the Democrats hold on to the House. I don't. Donald Trump won the popular vote. I have been complaining about how many times Republicans are in the majority in the Senate and the House without having won the popular vote. I am very consistent. Our folks, not our folks, the progressive folks didn't go out there and vote as they should. And as such, Donald Trump garnered the popular vote. Donald Trump deserves to have the Senate. Donald Trump deserves to have the House. And Donald Trump is president. Now let them run the country, and let's see if the country loves what they do. The good thing about it is we all know what the policies are. Let's see if they like it. Hey, Harry, I need to go to Jeff. Okay, anything else you want to say real quick?
I wanted to say I hope they realize that the policies will fail in 2 years. They will turn on them. Hopefully my friend in Florida will realize that. He's still my friend. I love him to death. I'm trying to educate him that he made a serious mistake, and hopefully he will realize that when these things that Trump promised don't work out.
Okay,
and
thank you very much, Harry. Got to go. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, you're on.
Good morning, Egberto. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my brother. Talk to me.
Are you out of mourning?
Yeah, I'm having a great morning because I'm speaking to all my peeps.
Morning.
And because Neil Aquino is here.
Oh, good. Neil's there. Hey, I just, this thing that you just said a minute ago, and I really like what you said, that let's give him a chance at least and see where it goes. That's a good attitude. And majority of those liberal people are so up and tight. I believe what Bard said, that it's a syndrome where they hate Trump so much that it's a sickness. But
let me ask, Jeff, look, no, we don't, look, it's not about giving them a chance, Jeff. They earned their chance. However they got there, I think they used a whole lot of lies to get there, but that's fine. There are enough people that were gullible enough to buy it. Now that's fine. They won it. They've got to govern, and I want them to blow up the filibuster because I want them to use their power. Okay? I want them to use their power. Now here's the thing, Jeff. Jeff, let me finish, Jeff. Let me finish. Here's the thing. We put somebody into power, again, that we know is morally defective, that we know have done illegal things. Not that we think they have done illegal things, not that we think they have defied the Constitution. We know that. And that person was up against a competent human being. Okay? That is the heights of privilege. Do you think any other person, and I say this, I mean, do you think any other person could have achieved that goal? Jeff, answer me that.
Okay, let me
That's
get the
Jeff, that's a yes, brother Jeff. That's a yes or no question. I don't want a filibuster. I'm asking you, if Barack Obama had done everything that Trump had done, would he have been elected president? We have an example, by the way. Robinson in North Carolina couldn't pass the Trump test. But go ahead, make your point, sir.
Well, I think, if anybody, I think it would have been slid underneath the covers if Obama had the same history as Trump did. I don't think that it would have been full court press on it like
Really?
they did on Trump.
Okay, let me stop. Okay, stop, Jeff. I want you to be mentally honest. Obama was hit about. Wait, hold on. Wait, listen to me, Jeff. I'm asking you kindly and civilly, because this is important. A lot of people lie to themselves, and I'm asking us to have a psychological involvement here. You're lying to yourself. Listen to this. Obama's mother was a white woman from Kansas. Obama's father was a Kenyan. The media made an issue out of Obama being a natural born citizen, when the only definition of a natural born citizen is having had an American, one of your parents being American. And that made a story. That was no story ever. And you accepted that. Let's go a bit further. Obama was treated on issue after issue for not doing bad things, for doing things. He never did the things that Donald Trump. So how can you possibly, with a straight face and an even mind, say they would have put things under the rug for Obama but not for Trump? Do you really buy into a statement like that, brother? Can you really tell me that your mind it allows you to think through that mechanism?
Okay, I agree with you on that Trump's not a good guy. I'll tell you that right now off the bat.
Okay, but you chose the good guy. You chose somebody that's not a good guy, with a woman, a black Asian woman who is competent. What in your head? We're civilly talking here. What in your head told you that it was okay for America in the national sphere, in the international sphere, to elect a criminal, a thug, over somebody who may not agree with you ideologically, but means you no harm? How could you do that?
I think that she's a weak person when it would come to dealing with Putin or any foreign, country.
What makes you?
Let me.
Wait, hold on, Neil. Hold on. Jeff,
Sure.
what makes you believe that she is weak? Who told you she was weak?
The way she comes off.
Okay, stop for a second. This is a woman who was a prosecutor in California, went up against the mob. Please tell me how Donald Trump never did any of that. Donald Trump never went up at the mob. Donald Trump had no military experience. Donald Trump had no legal experience. What within your psyche allowed you to believe that because this was a person that somehow was stronger? Donald Trump has proven to be weak. How did you come to that conclusion, brother?
Donald Trump, he's not a nice guy, but I think his policies are sound. Those 4 years.
Okay, stop. What policy? What policy helps you? You talk about policy. Which one of Trump's policies helps you?
The oil and gas.
The one on what? Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Gas.
Which gas?
Policy.
What foreign?
Yes.
Please tell me specifically. Don't just tell me a narrative. Specifically, what did Trump do that helped you?
Well, I made money off the stock market. I know that.
Okay. Stop there. The stock market went up much higher under Biden. Under Biden, Harris, the stock market went up much higher. And not only that, under Trump, your stocks crashed in 2020. Your stocks
No.
crashed in 2020 under Trump, and then it made itself back up. Come on. And how when did it make itself back up? It made itself back up after Biden restored the economy. What I'm trying to tell you, Jeff, is the following. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not asking you these things that I'm telling you here. I am telling you these things as a statement of fact. There is something else happening in your psyche that makes you believe Trump helped you when he didn't. The only policy that Trump passed was a tax cut, mostly for wealthy people, and he also passed a tariff on China, which increased the prices of products from China. That's it. That's the only policy. Everything else was on the Obama trajectory. I have the charts that you can see. Neil wants to jump in for a second, but Neil, please be quick because I really don't want to lose this query. Go ahead.
Well, let me just say that two points. Two callers have said that I'm mentally ill. Let's say that I am mentally ill. They're trying to take our health insurance or gut our health insurance. And secondly, so if I'm mentally ill, I want to be clear about the kind of words and terms that are used. And secondly, in terms of mental illness, I want to be clear. Musk, Trump, they are eugenicists. I want to be clear about the words we're using and what in that kind of administration and that kind of leadership, what would happen to a mentally ill person. I think the phraseology is important. If one is mentally ill, A, you will not have access to treatment. B, you will be inferior. And these people are straight up eugenicists. And I also want to make the point about Putin. Putin was referenced. Tulsi Gabbard, our intelligence information, Tulsi Gabbard is a double agent. Our intelligence information now goes directly to Putin. We might as well effectively be out of NATO right now. And people need to grasp the dramatic nature
Neil,
and changes of what's going on.
Neil, you're absolutely right. But the things that I was trying to do with my brother Jeff here is to first go at the minimalist thing. Because the
No, I
minimalist
get
thing
it.
that they talk about, because what you did was a bit more expansive. The minimalist thing with Jeff is that he made two important points. She wasn't as strong. He knows Trump is a bad guy. She wasn't as strong, and also he liked
Right.
his policies. And here's
No,
the
you
thing.
made the case.
I
You made a
I
great
I'm
case.
I'm I'm st- no. I want Jeff to come back. I want Jeff to tell me what specific policy helped
Right.
him because he hasn't yet informed me. Jeff, it's on you, my brother.
Can I call back tomorrow and give you that answer?
Yes, you can. And guess what? No, actually, we look. Here's the deal, Jeff. Jeff, here's the deal. The fact that you can't tell me this answer now, but you have already voted, tells me that the vote wasn't an informed vote. But that's okay. You still think that there's something in your gut that made you want to vote for Trump. And I want us to examine that together. So do come back tomorrow and I will throw you at the front of the queue with what
Okay.
Trump did that helped you. Because what I'm going to prove to you, Jeff, and just as honest as I am with you, I want you to be honest with me. I am going to prove to you that Donald Trump is a clear and present danger not only to you, but the entire country. All right?
Well, yes, it's
Thank-
on. And I just want to say that, you know, he won in a landslide. And the
That,
people
no,
of
okay,
Trump,
again, when I talk about misinformation, this is what I'm talking about. By the end of the first of all, in 2016, he lost by 3 million votes. In 2020, he lost by 7 million votes. In 2024, he will win by likely between 2.5 and 3 million votes in a vote pool of over 140 million. That is not a landslide, no matter how you look at it. If you want to know what a landslide look at Reagan's win in 20 in 20 in 19
1984.
in 1980 1984, or look at Nixon's win, or look at Johnson's win. That's what landslides look like. Do not buy into the lies. We have to be talking facts per facts. This was a close election within 1.5 points, and between 1.5 and 2 points. That's not a landslide. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a
Real quick, I've met.
wait, hold on. Wait, Jeff. Do you, now that I've given you the numbers, do you accept that it's not a landslide?
I always verify first.
Well, assuming what I'm saying is correct, will you stop calling it a landslide?
There's a possibility, yes.
Good. All right, good. All I want to be is educational for all of us. Thank you, brother. I'm waiting for your call tomorrow. Let's go to Johnny. Come on in, Johnny.
For Jeff and Breitbart's consideration, the only landslides that I see is environmental out in California after heavy rains and stuff like that. That's landslides. You want to see landslides? That's a landslide. And as far as, let me back up Alberto's numbers. Think about this. What Kamala suffered, she suffered an almost 20% drop in the number of votes compared to what she and Joe Biden got 4 years ago. And if that hadn't happened, if she had stayed true to her progressive talk, like when she nominated her running mate, guess what? We wouldn't be having this conversation. And you would be licking your paws going, oh, woe is me. And I'm going to disagree with you, Alberto, on one thing. Donald Trump deserves a slimy green bologna sandwich in a cold feed from a slimy, dark-covered, stainless steel wash basin and toilet bowl on the 3-inch.
Oh, God. All right, Johnny, stop it. Johnny, stop it, Johnny, brother Johnny. Hey, Johnny, look, my lines are filled up. I only got 8 minutes of calls I can do. So can we talk tomorrow, man? I needed to spend a lot of time with Jeff, but I think we accomplished what we needed to accomplish. Can you call back tomorrow?
Before I hang up, I will say one thing.
Yes.
Besides the fact that he does not have a landslide, he does not have a mandate. He has no mandate because the fact that Kamala gave the election away. He has no mandate. The people still want universal health care. He has no mandate. We still want
Johnny.
criminal.
I agree. I got to go to Kathleen. I agree, brother. Thank you, brother. Call me tomorrow. Kathleen, come on in.
Good morning, Egberto.
Good morning, my dear sister.
But I thought I would call and let you know I sent something. And I want to say, sometimes very good things come out of a bad mess. Somebody's going to learn a lot of lessons from voting for this man. It's like you said, if you know a person is awful, why would you put them in a position like this? We're going to see some things. But those people who put him back in there, they're not going to like what they see at all because I think a lot of people voted for him out of fear, too. Fear of what he might do if he lost, but fear of the unknown and fear of the known.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you say something that is even scarier, Kathleen. When you say they voted for him because they were fearful what would happen if we didn't vote for him, and maybe he reacted. And something I never thought about that, but that is something to think about. But either way, we get the same results. But wow, that's a good. That's another thinking pathway. I hear you.
And all of these people who he claimed that he was going to deport, would they vote for him because they think if they voted he might not?
And that's a point. That is a point. And Kathleen, I did a blog today. It's at my the newsletter, politicsandright.com/newsletter. It has a piece that I did on a Latino family who came over illegally and now is calling Latinos who are coming over illegally like they did criminals. So it also has to do with some brainwashing, Kathleen. So, but Kathleen, my phones are filled up. Give me a quick 5 seconds.
Okay. Okay, so love you all. Bye.
Love you, sister. Have a great day. All right, let's go to Brother Ray real quick. Ray, give me just about 30 seconds because I'm stuffed. We'll talk at 3 o'clock.
Okay. I just wanted to say I heard that Rahm Emanuel was going to be the possible DNC chairman or whatever after this.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah. So with all due respect, I love the Obamas. I revere the Obamas for what they brought to politics as far as values. But unfortunately, we can see that their political capital has waned in the progressive mind, especially when they coerce.
Gotta go, Ray. I gotta go, but I agree with you. In fact, I think he messed up real big earlier on in the campaign. Let's talk about that at 3 o'clock, brother. You're correct. I gotta go let's go to Jim.
Hello, Alberto.
Jim, 30 seconds,
me?
my man. Yes, sir.
Okay, listen, Alberto, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really happy with, like, you basically was calling with Bard and Jeff. You're basically saying that there's something wrong with them mentally just because they voted for Trump, who arguably, well, not the best guy in the world. He's not a good person, but
Wait, sir. Jim, I'm sorry. Let me just say this. I think they called Neil mentally ill, right? Neil, isn't that correct? Did you hear that?
That's true. Yes, they did.
Did you hear when they did that, Jim?
Yeah, they called me that. Yeah.
Jim, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, I won't
Okay,
lie,
and that's
you
my
did.
point. So so good. So what I'm saying, they call him mentally ill, but here's the other thing that's important. We placed a criminal in office. Those who voted for him in sound mind, put a criminal over a competent person in office. Tell me, this is not a simple disagreement. This is something that was done that hurt our country. Don't you agree?
I don't really see how it hurt our country.
To put a criminal, if you put a criminal in office, who is the person that leads the world, you don't see a problem there?
Is he really a criminal if the charges were dropped?
He's a criminal because he stole from his own people. He's a criminal because of what he does to women. These are proven things. These are not up for debate.
What? Hearsay. That's all just a bunch of hearsay, man. Like, what has he done?
No, sir. Again, these are not hearsay. These are facts. It is true that he created a university and ripped people off. It is true that he took money from his charity. All these things are true. Out of his own mouth, he talks about holding on to women's private parts. This is a guy representing us around the world. Is that okay with you?
Where are you even getting these facts? Where are you getting
He said it. He said it out of his own mouth.
Locker room?
Oh my God, Jim. And that is what we talk about, the echo space and our brothers and sisters being ill-informed. Jim is a good guy. Jim is a good guy. He just don't know. Jim, I got to go because thank you. Jim, call me back tomorrow. Go ahead. Let's go to Donald.
Hey,
Donald, 30
good
seconds.
Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Alberto. Good morning, Neil. How are you guys? Okay.
Good morning. What do you got?
Scientific method. We're fixing to apply it, and theory without application is BS. We're fixing to apply these theories, and this is closer to what you guys want to try on a system than you think, and we're going to find out how it all unfolds. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a test of the system. We have the provens. We know what hasn't worked. Now let's see what works, and then everybody has to see so that we don't make the same mistake again, because then we'd be in insanity trying to get different results. So we got to let it play out.
Got to go, brother. I only have 30 seconds for folks. Patrick, 30 seconds.
All right, 30 seconds. Neil, thank you for everything that you do. Don't listen to any of these clowns. People that do self-harm are by definition insane, or they have mental problems, and that's exactly what the American people did. So if you did pull the lever for Trump, you pulled the lever for Trump, and you chose self-harm over letting a woman try and lead.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you so kindly, Patrick. Brian, 30 seconds.
Yeah. All right, this is how the mainstream media is going to portray Trump now, is the bad guy deporting all these illegal aliens, and he's going to rip the baby right out of someone's hands and throw him in a cage like Obama did. And now everything that he does is going to be bad because immigration is so bad. All right? This is all we're going to hear from the mainstream media and the left-wing people.
Thank you very much. Okay, got to go, Brian, but thank you very much for that. Let's go ahead and go to Neil. Neil, give me a quick closer.
Great. At HoustonDemocracyProject.com, it's hard to get through some of the local stuff because there's so much going on nationally. But at HoustonDemocracyProject.com, I have a daily blog. Please don't forget the local stuff, the deportations. All of it has local angles, and we'll continue to talk about it and extend yourself some grace. I think you saw some of the challenges about finding peace today.
Let's go, studio.
Remember in 1972, Richard Nixon won a landslide election for president, re-election. By 1974, it was all over with, and
Amen.
Nixon didn't even half of what Donald Trump has done. So I would say that voter regret will happen somewhere around the summer of 2026. July 4th, maybe we can liberate ourselves from this monster.
Now, for a little humor, that rugged individualism you talk about, it's good to be an individual, is what a man told me one time. Just don't stand out. Remember, you're unique, just like everybody else.
Thank you for that, Jack. Anyway, thank you for that, Howard. And Neil, thank you so kindly. Houston, founder of the Houston Democracy Project at HoustonDemocracyProject.com. Thank you for being here with us. Folks, I love you all, my detractors, the agreeers, everybody. We are one team. My name, beforehand, please note that all of these blogs that we weren't able to cover is at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter, including a link to the items from Neil that we were supposed to cover today. politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. My name is Egberto Willis. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out!
You're listening to the American Democracy Minute, keeping your government by and for the people. In a case likely destined for the U.S. Supreme Court, a federal appeals court struck down a Mississippi law allowing receipt and counting of mail-in ballots up to 5 days